Welcome back to 21 Minute Reads with me, Maya D. In these 5-minute or so videos, I share with you my takeaways from my current reading, which right now is the anthology Dance Adventures. As a part of the Read 21 and 21 challenge, I'm reading 21 minutes per day, every day, as an action of self love, as an investment into myself, and as a way of providing myself with some consistency in an ever changing world. As you can see, I'm in a different location because I'm back in the Midwest now, but I still was able to read. And this week I read pages 174 through 223. So in this part of the book, we're in the personal development section. Writers are sharing not just where they travel to, but that piece of information that helped them to grow into a better person. Our first two takeaways are actually going to come from the same writer. They're both from experiences, had by Kalila Fordham, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing Kalila's name. If I am, please drop the correct pronunciation down there in the comments while you're liking and subscribing so that you're returning to our virtual book club and continuing this thing so that we continue to build community. Takeaway number 1 is completely present, or the absence of being completely present. So I'm speaking of consciously hiding parts of yourself in order to navigate the world's presumptions of you, your character, or your dancing. Kalila shares with us an experience in high school where she's dancing, does some acrobatic movements, and afterwards someone comes to her and tells her, "You would make a good stripper." She begins to think, well, why is that only said to me when I was not the only person performing those movements? It plants a seed that has Kalila thinking about how she's showing up and how she's being perceived, that begins her shrinking herself and not taking up space in the same kind of way. It has her being conscious of how her skin and body is perceived as extremely sexual. Now, this concept was brought up in an earlier book, The Black Dancing Body by Brenda Dixon Gottschalk, but it's brought up again in this book. So I wanted to bring it up again as a reminder to myself and to you to check ourselves and question when our behavior or logic is preventing someone from being themselves. When are you encouraging somebody to shrink and not be themselves and not grow? Yeah? Which takes me to takeaway number 2, which is the complete opposite of that. So Kalila has the wonderful opportunity to travel to Ghana. And while there, someone tells her to make your presence known, not just here, but everywhere. So to take up space. And this is an empowering statement to Kalila because it kind of steps into and it kind of like begins to squash that thing that she's been doing for so many years. She's told to take up space, not just here, but everywhere. And as an educator, it reminds me that when you allow your students or just the people that are around you to take up space and take ownership, you see them grow and develop in so many different ways. So I encourage you to let people take up space so that we can see them grow into bigger and better people. Now, my third takeaway is about me growing into a bigger and better person. So I have this virtual book club going on because I'm away from my family and friends while I'm here working and living in the Midwest. And Lindy Hop comes up 2 times in the book. The first time it comes up, or one of the times it comes up, is by Laurie Bonnie Baker, who's in China, and this is in the Unexpected Opportunities section. But it also was brought up earlier in the book by Tina Shield when she travels to England in the Finding Community section. And I guess I've just been percolating on that finding community because I'm looking for a community. So my takeaway is to do something similar to the people in the book, the writers of the book, to use Lindy Hop as a way to find community And that's what I'm going to do over the next couple of weeks, right? But also, we're almost done this book, so I wanted to give you a sneak peek of our next book. Our next book is Hot Feet and Social Change, African Dance and Diasporic Communities. If you can, please get the book so that as I'm talking about it, you're dropping comments about your own reading experience and what you thought, because I want us to have this virtual community. I want us to grow into bigger and better people. And I will see you next week on 21 Minute Reads.